Chapter 17. Multiple Streams of Income. There was once upon a time where we would have our good paying job, then go home and relax and do it again the next day. I think the times were much more simpler and there wasn't as many options. Those days are gone. The simple times are over, and you know what? That's a good thing. The days of having one sole means of income for most people are over. Don't get me wrong, there are plenty of people who still live that way, but the number of people who are creating numerous side hustles is on the super rise. There's two reasons why this is occurring: availability and need. The value of a dollar is changing. I'm not going to get all deep into the economics of what I mean, but look around. Things are beginning to cost more and more over time. I mean, look at the cost of a cell phone. They used to range an average of like $200 to $400 maybe. Now they are easily double the price, plus the internet for it. Yes, they cost more now, but we can do way more than we used to. You can create a sole side hustle just from your phone. So people literally need to have more than one hustle to get by. The customer service agent has a cupcake business on the side. The warehouse employee is a bouncer on the evenings. The guy working in a bank is an Uber driver when he leaves work and on the weekends. Regular working people have realized that it's better to have two jobs instead of one. I guess we've really realized that it beats being broke. So looking at how things have changed through availability, the amount of things that we can do over our phones or computers and still in person have dramatically grown. Think about it. Have you really realized the things that we can do now in today's time versus 20 years ago? At this point, I was just 10 years old. It's amazing the things that we can do today that were either totally unaffordable or not even possible back then. We literally are living in a time that the world has never seen before. The internet changed everything. The millionaires used to be the CEOs of major companies, athletes, and such. Now, it can be some young 19-year-old who developed a social media advertising agency and figured out how to connect with brands and people. So with the need and availability of ways to earn extra income becoming the new way of society, this is one of the best times that we have seen to become an entrepreneur. See, when you decided to set out on your journey, you're going to be gung-ho about growing your company. If your company starts off and takes off, then great. You won't be immediately forced to find additional means to make money. There's a very high percentage of people who begin full-time entrepreneurship that quickly realize that what they're doing isn't going to fully support the financial needs of their lives. This is when your back is against the wall and you must adapt. The way you adapt at this point is to continue building the business that you set out to do and find another hustle to add to your grind. See, when you come across a situation where your business isn't cutting it, look at adding another stream of income as a plus. It really is. It's not some type of thing that just takes away your time. It's going to help you. And I should add that there's a lot you can learn when you develop multiple streams of income. For me, my first stream of income was created through a video camera and a computer. I created basic video on down to video for business need. Other words, marketing videos. So I pretty much had like 4 or 5 different types of clients, all derived from knowledge of using a video camera and a computer. The second stream of income that I added was something that I didn't know too much about at the time. I drove for Uber. At first I was prideful and felt kind of ashamed to be an Uber driver, but I quickly learned to be grateful and that it wasn't too bad. I got to meet a lot of people on a daily basis and promote my video marketing company. Not to mention, I was being able to pay my bills. The bills were getting paid, that's what really mattered. And the third stream of income that I developed was another practical skill that I've always had since a kid: a lawn care company. With these 3 streams of income, I was managing to make it just fine. Had I just depended on my main desired hustle of video marketing, there's a very big chance, like I said, that I would have ended up being back at a 9-to-5 telling that sad I tried it story. You know, I tried it, man. It's hard out here. Blah, blah, blah. All that stuff. I ain't for none of that. I should also mention that I am now taking my video marketing company to a full marketing company. It's a whole different discipline. I'm now creating sales funnels for businesses. In short, I'm helping companies get more clients and more customers, which makes them more money. I basically took the skill set that I acquired by utilizing video and applied it to a bigger purpose. You see, not only am I creating different streams of income, I am also diversifying each type of income as well as growing each and every one of them. My days are seriously pretty cool. I can actively participate in all three hustles in one day. It makes me feel really cool to be wearing all those hats at one time. It can be challenging as well. An example of a typical weekday could be something like this. I wake up and I go cut 2 yards. They take up to an hour each. Could be short as 35 minutes though. Depends on the yard. On average, those yards pay about $40 each, plus any tip they give me. By this time, it's about 10:30 a.m. So I would come home and eat breakfast, and very likely that I would play a game of Madden. And to be perfectly transparent, I probably would hit some weed a little bit as well. Not a whole joint or nothing like that though, just a little bit for me to get in my zone. And let me be even more transparent for anybody that might have something to say. I like weed. I don't need it, which means I use it at any given point of my day or points of my day specifically because I want to. I'm not addicted, nor do I think that weed is bad. In my personal opinion, it actually helps more than it hinders a person if the recreational use is done in moderation. It's the quote unquote pothead that ruins the good things that come out of recreationally smoking marijuana. Kind of like how the guy that always drinks alcohol and shows up drunk, society doesn't let him dictate how bad or good alcohol is, right? Same thing for weed. So back to my day that I'm illustrating. After I eat breakfast and spend some time with myself, it's time for me to start working on something else. I would spend the hours of 12 p.m. to 4:30 p.m., somewhere in that range, doing things for my marketing company and any other thing that I needed to do to keep my thing going. This time can directly or indirectly yield a daily income. So I can either do something specific for a client at that time, or I use this time to do work that has been allocated to specific projects. Then when 4:30 p.m. hits, it's time for me to go make another practical dollar for the day. If I'm going to be cutting grass, I will load up the truck and prepare to go cut 1 or 2 more yards before the sun goes down. If I needed to drive for Uber to make a practical dollar that afternoon, then I would do that from about 4:30 p.m. till about 6 or 6:30 p.m. So by about 7 or 8 p.m., I'm back home and I'm spending time doing what I want to do from there. I have options of either kicking the breeze with my boys, my wife, or working more. It all depends on what I set on my schedule for that week. Then I wake up the next day and I do it again. Oh yeah, for the times that I indicated that I would be cutting grass, if it's not lawn season, those are the times that I would spend earning rideshare money. This is actually a really beautiful setup because in the morning it's really busy, and in the afternoons after 4 p.m., those are also the peak hours for ride sharing companies. So keep in mind that if I'm not doing either lawn care or Uber, I'm doing something else pertaining to my business. Now, as you can tell, my days can be quite eventful and intriguing. No week or month is the same. Entrepreneurs love the freedom to plan how we spend our time, but the trick is to do it wisely and precisely to get you towards your goals. For me, I spend the morning and afternoon earning a practical daily dollar. The middle of the day is to work on my bigger tasks and goals that won't necessarily get completed on that given day. The reason why I ended up operating my days like this at this current point in my life is because each day I make a practical dollar towards paying for my living and expenses. On a below average to average month, I stand to make between 2 to 3.5K. On a decent month, I stand to make about 4 to 7K. And on a great month, I bring in more than $8,000. Those $8,000 months haven't happened to me on a repetitive basis. Who knows? By the time this book is out, I may be easily pulling in that amount. I grow my hustle from year to year, so I know it's just a matter of time before I see 7 figures on a consistent basis. It's a numbers game, and I play with those numbers and grow those numbers each year. If you're wondering why I chose to be totally transparent with how much I bring in each month, It's because it doesn't matter one bit with me relaying that information out. I'll be sure to do the same thing when I'm bringing in $30K a month as well. It helps paint the picture for what can be done to somebody who wants to be in that position. So I don't mind sharing it. I don't make a lot of money, but I do enough to support myself.